Hey there, it's David here, and today we're talking about episode 4 of season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race. This is Trump the Rusical. We get into this week's mini challenge, and it's a teleprompter moment, which is one of my favorite reality TV tropes, harkening back to America's Next Top Model. Obviously, they got budget for mini challenges this season because they're like fully on a green screen news set. They're doing a Rachel Maddow impression, which is definitely in theme of this week's more political take. None of them pronounced Colonel correctly, which was, I guess, the big shock of colonoscopy. I understand though, because like if you're reading a teleprompter, you're just trying to like sound things out and just say it as if you know what you're talking about. At a certain point, like you stop registering maybe like the actual meaning of what you're saying. I thought that Ariel's little like voguing moment was funny. Brooke carried herself through the teleprompter moments very well. Scarlett was the winner for this challenge, and while she did a perfectly suitable job and was fine, I don't think that she was necessarily like the funniest or the best. I really think Ariel could have won this, but they wanted Scarlett to be assigning the roles, so that's who they chose to win the mini challenge. So Scarlett's the winner, and she is chosen to give everyone their roles in Trump the Rusical. Mercedes being the first up to say that she wants to be the lead role, Miss Shandy, who's lightly based on Sandy from Greece. I'm really glad that the girls were not encouraging her to take on this part, because that would have been total sabotage. Ariel is assigned this leading role. And then Silky is assigned Oprah, even though she says that's typecasting and she wants to be Shandy. Season 4, Sharon Needles, I don't want to be a goth girl vibes, which means that hopefully next week there will be a Party City moment, because you guys know on the runway I've already said Party City as an explainer for some of Silky's looks, so it's coming. As our choreographer, we are featuring Yanis Marshall, who, if you don't know who he is, look him up. I've been such a fan for years and years, and it's great to see him on this show. Very refreshing to have, you know, somebody who's known specifically as a choreographer and not as a celebrity. I hope they have Brian Friedman on here. I hope they have Bobby Newberry. I hope this is just the beginning. Get Wildebeest on there too. Yanis makes great TV. No, you're not doing it right. Raja, you shouldn't have told me you had 15 years of dance experience, because it doesn't look like it. He gets Brooke to do a demonstration in front of the line of girls, which we both know. Both of them were just trying to intimidate the other ones, because dance be shady like that. Overall, this whole segment is really just a joy for a dance fan to watch. Ariel, she says she comes from a musical theater background, but I don't think that she was prepared for the level of intensity, and apparently neither was the final performance, because a lot of this choreography does not make an appearance once we see their actual showcase. Maybe there was no intention to put all of this choreography in the final piece. Either that, or Yanis originally had larger aspirations and they realized there's no time to get everybody together. Nina shares that she experienced bullying in college. There were some threats. She segues into talking about Matthew Shepard, which is something that, I mean, everyone should know about who's part of the community, and likely many of the younger viewers who can't remember that happening wouldn't. So this is a good moment to showcase something that was an important part of our history. It also inspires Mercedes to finally open up about her religion. I love that Vanjie and Scarlett cannot tear themselves away from doing their makeup while she's like having this heart-to-heart. Meanwhile, Akira in like no face is just there. While I still think there are some producers pulling the strings here, it's good that she's on the show and like she's there as a representative. She's finally speaking up about it a little bit. For Ru's look, I think this dress is great. The hair is back to this hard line in the front. Again, this is the second week in a row. Why can't we get the good lace front we have Trump the Rusical? In terms of the quality of the actual music, this is probably in line with the other musicals we've seen on the show. Standouts are Evie Oddly, for sure, and I think Nina did a really great job. Silky is Oprah. The judges go crazy for her. Her makeup is on point, for sure. Did she deserve to win? I don't really think that she did, but it seems that they're distributing the wins very evenly this season. We've had Brooke win, we had Evie and Scarlett win, we had Nina win, so now we're gonna have Silky win, even though I think that either Nina or Evie could have taken this spot from her. Nina didn't even make the top 3, which, yeah, I mean, I think Brooke, Nina, and Evie were my personal top 3. We do need to give Evie her moment. This is like such a caricature in a world of other queens just trying to be kind of accurate and a little funny. She really goes to that extreme absurdist place. I love that they kept the floor choreography just for her. She was really great. I mean, definitely should have been the winner of this challenge.
Plastique was a cute little Melania though. She didn't really get much screen time.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Plastique. There may be some parallels between the way Melania does her makeup and the way that drag queens do their makeup, because both of the looks for Melania that we've seen on this show have been like on point. So props to Plastique and props to Aquaria last season. I thought that both portrayals were equally of quality.
Scarlett's Betsy was...
She was giving me like drunk narrator from Joseph. I was into the portrayal for what it was, but it was very close to the character that she has played in the past 2 acting challenges. She has her shimmy that she goes to. Can you shut up a second? She has her little shimmy she goes to. She has her eye roll. Like, she knows what marks she needs to hit. And I think that she assigned herself a role that was suitable to that character. That said, I want to see some range from her at a certain point, because I'm not going to be able to buy this character for much longer. Mercedes was not great, but I don't think that she was any less offensive than Vanjie in this challenge. I love Miss Vanjie. I love everything she brings to the show, but this was not Rosie O'Donnell in any way. The death drop does not forgive the portrayal. The point of this is really to bring some sort of an acting presence, and Ms. Vanjie was like, lights are off, like nobody's home. She was just kind of like hitting her marks, going through the motions, and in no way embodying that character. And then Raja is...
No Morosa.
No Morosa. As, did Ross say that?
Ross, yeah.
Ross was really prepared with the jokes this episode. You see him like looking down at his notes during the deliberations. Every time that Mr. McHale starts talking, Ross just checks out. He's like, straight guy talking, I don't give a shit. I'm not really that familiar with Omarosa, but it just was very sort of one-note bland. I think that the bottom 2 were selected correctly, although Miss Vanjie was definitely towing the line to be in the bottom, in my opinion. The runway theme for this week was Orange Alert. Okay, so first we've got Evie. This was fine. I don't really love it. It definitely doesn't look super expensive. I believe that she put it together. I would have liked something more on the top, like maybe a doily kind of a thing. Plastique's look is giving me figure skater dress with like a parade float item tied to the back of it. She looks pretty. I think the hair is really gorgeous. Like this ramen noodle moment, it's a good color. The colors are all matched. Her makeup looks beautiful. Just outfit's not very imaginative. Raja's look had a lot of impact when she turned the corner. It all is very cohesive. The bodysuit is clearly designed for this outer garment with the heart on the butt.
What's about the heart on the butt though? Why is that there?
She just wants to have a little love on her butt. Raja definitely is gonna focus on outfits she can dance in throughout, it seems. And as far as like her dancing fashions have been, this is definitely a more elevated look, which I appreciate. Nina West's Hello Dolly look is cute. Talking about it as a nod to Barbara Streisand is definitely a choice, because Barbara's portrayal of that role was a choice in general. The fabric on the bottom, I know it's intentional for it to be a different fabric with more sheen to it, but it's not different enough that it seems entirely intentional. Like, it seems almost as if the fabric is turned inside out. If it had been like maybe a little darker or had a little bit more of a red tonality, just something that was more of a contrast, it would have looked a little bit more deliberate than it does here. And I think the hair is like definitely suitable for this. Scarlet Envy's look, she made this. I definitely give her props, because I think that the construction, especially near the top, is very nice. This clearly looks like a fabric that was quite challenging to work with. The bottom, I don't understand the divots and the white sort of like undergarment showing through. Maybe I just don't know enough about fashion, but that to me reads unfinished and weird. Akiria is next. I really liked this look. Was it Fringe Week again? There are a few Fringe moments coming up. I think that the choice to attach these second strands of hair near the bottom, create this illusion that it's going all the way down to her feet.
Cousin it's sisters, kind of what I think.
The shade! I feel like it's like Nicki Minaj could wear this.
Okay, yeah.
That kind of thing.
Very Nicki.
The jewels are a little much for me. I feel like there could have been more sort of silvery kinds of jewels instead of these like large gem moments, but this to me was clean, cohesive, and it looked like it was thought through. Silky, I don't like this look. I mean, for her, it does look to be one of her more put together looks, but like the bar is set very low. After a whole season, I'm just saying, I'm just like over the pageant gown, especially for bigger girls. I don't think that they need to like resort to this pageant girl moment. The gems on this look too big and cheap, and I don't like it. It's boring to me.
It's like the pattern and the gems, like pick one.
Right?
Having both, it's just like, it's too gaudy. That face though, like she painted a good face.
It's her Oprah face. Yeah. She's just wearing a leftover Oprah face.
Threw a couple extra gems on her.
Right? Just put some around the eyes. Next we have April with this like reveal outfit. This definitely looks like something that she could wear at any night in the club. That said, like, good for her doing Fringe Part 2 again. The earrings are fine. Her makeup looks good. I'm just bored. Mercedes looks gorgeous. This is a simple swimsuit. At this point, she should be delivering something that's a little more elevated than this. This looks like she wore this for the swimsuit section on like Entertainer of the Year or like Miss Continental, whichever one has swimsuit, I kind of forget. But her makeup looks beat. The headpiece is great. And
she made that, didn't she?
Yeah.
She said she did that.
Mm-hmm. She'll get it together. And the swimsuit itself, although it's a simple one piece, the detailing on it is right. I'm all about this. I think she looks gorgeous. Maybe I'm biased, Minneapolis queen, but I think she looks right. Ms. Vanjie, it's barely orange. It's hanging on a thread, but this is almost another red outfit, especially the jewels at the top. Like, you're really flirting with another red look, girl. Michelle mentioned that like the glitter on the chest, again, it's good, but I'm just like, I'm ready for something different from her. And I don't even know if that style of hair is necessarily the best for this look. Like the orange streak aside, maybe like more of a pulled back, like if she had like a tight ponytail, that may have been like different enough. But yeah, this is just giving me a little bit of a repetitive feeling at this point. Brooke, really, I mean, she had a lot of money to fund her outfits before this competition. I mean, when it's right, it's right. This is really the right way to do a strappy look. There's not a lot of fabric there, but it's placed really well. It's evenly distributed. The jacket is a great moment.
I loved it. It was my favorite. The one critique for her I would say is just that hair is the same thing that she's done like 2 or 3 times.
That's true. In this look specifically, it's giving me like Trinity from The Matrix.
Yeah.
When she wears that, the jacket. Yeah, so that was the runway.
What about Miss Sugarcane's run?
Oh my God, right. Okay, sorry. They go to the judges to have this drama between Michelle and Joel. They were really going for like a Paula Simon dynamic between Joel and Michelle for this. I mean, I think it sort of worked, but after a while it seemed... Okay, so Sugarcane comes out with this Trump look, which, I mean, this is very nail on the head. It's right for them to show her last. I think it works. I mean, good for her for making a choice. Who knows if they knew this would be like a political runway or a political episode. Part of me thinks that this was just a coincidence. So she's probably real glad that she made that joke for this episode. The wig looks repurposed, but she's styled it to become kind of like an extreme version of the toupee. So I'll give her a pass on that. Even if she wasn't in the top, I think that the judges definitely responded very favorably to that choice on the runway. So we get to the final lip sync, and it is Mercedes and Raja. I would have kind of liked to see Vanjie lip sync for her life. She would not have gotten home this episode at all. And I just like, for her storyline, I would have loved to see that kind of shake things up and like put more fire under her. But her look alone really saved her in this moment. If she hadn't pulled out that look and it hadn't been so much more well-funded than the others, then I feel like the challenge would have put her in the bottom. At this point, Mercedes does not turn it out like she did for Work Bitch. I think that the song choice was definitely...
James Brown, baby.
I don't get why they do guy songs, especially if it's not a queer artist. There's just no excuse to do a male singer song for these lip syncs. I think they chose it knowing that Raja like had that in her wheelhouse. I wouldn't be surprised if in her audition tape she had shown that style of a performance, and they knew that this was Mercedes' time to go. She opened up about her religion, which means we don't have any more storyline to have with her, and so she was the one to get the boot. She seems really checked out during the lip sync. I just think that she didn't really know what to do with the song. And once she saw Raja going for it like that, I mean, what would you do? She's doing a lot of pointing to the audience. Like, she's like trying to go for her go-tos, but there's just no way for her to connect with this song.
As much as I love that headpiece, it was holding her back in the lip sync. Like, she needed to
it's
take
true.
That
she had to, yeah. Even when Raja's wig falls off, it doesn't matter at that point. So like when that's forgiven, you know that there's a very clear distinction between the two. So we end up having to say goodbye to Mercedes, which I think that honestly, like, she's leaving in good graces, and she got a favorable edit, all things considered. She's performing in Minneapolis next week. She's gonna be at the Saloon March 28th. Everybody better turn out. Like, she'll be fine, and I think that hopefully this is gonna be you know, a positive experience for her. I am slightly praying for her DMs, especially from the subject matter of this episode. I just, you know, how the fan base is. Hopefully she's got good people around her who can tell her that that's all just noise and to ignore it. That said, she exits with yet another heavily edited and looped ay moment to just bring things full circle. I think Raja will likely be the next one next week if she doesn't give something completely out of the box different that we haven't already seen from her.
We may need to talk about that untucked kiss a little bit.
Oh yeah.
What's going on there?
Oh my god. So they're doing this whole like Brooke and Vanjie romance storyline. This was really the only thing to come out of Untucked, because the rest of the time is eaten up by guest judges going backstage. And why is New York's time talking about her? I don't even want to like give it a moment. There are so many other things that she could have talked about with them, and this is part of my issue. Some guest judges don't want to be in that position going backstage, and they just resort to whatever they want, getting waxed. That's what she was talking about. But all of that filler aside, we get a very conspicuous kiss between Brooke and Miss Vanjie. They're playing the game, is my take on this. I think they know what the producers want, and they're gonna lean into it. And if they get a little something out of it, then that's fine too. Oh my god, what if they end up having a fight and they like try and make a whole like breakup storyline near the end, right before the finale, and then they have to compete against each other? The drama. So that was it, but let me know what you guys thought, because I definitely want to hear if you agreed or if you disagreed with anything that I said. Also, did you think the right winner was chosen? Did you think that Mercedes was the right pick to go home this week? Let me know in the comments. And other than that, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. All right, bye.